guys, hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going to take a look at multiple videos from various locations of mysterious objects in both the day and nighttime skies. Really cool stuff you'll definitely want to stick around for. But first, starting off over here at the homepage of the website, today's feature photo was sent in by Roberta out of Detroit, Michigan. 5 layers thick. What an incredible sky coming out of Detroit, Michigan. Checking in on the GOES X-Ray Flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. Recently saw an X-class solar flare here in the last 12 hours. That makes number 55 for solar cycle 25. And there have been 5 M-class solar flares in the last 24 hours. The Earth-facing side of the sun still loaded with large sunspots in active regions. In fact, one of the sunspots right here in the center of the sun that's directly facing the Earth is primed and ready for action. Anytime you see the red and blue touch like that, you know there's going to eventually be a solar flare. Whether it be an M or an X remains to be seen. And that's an unusual configuration. Usually they're side by side. These are vertically on top of each other. The blue is positive and the red is negative. So look for more activity coming from that specific region that right now is directly facing planet Earth. Looking at the Schumann resonance, man, it's been very active the last 48 hours. And the bright red you see on here is a spike currently being detected in the Schumann that's probably well above 40 hertz. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Activity along the eastern edge of the caldera at Soda Butte. The eastern entrance down here at Hawks Rest, seeing earthquake activity at Little West Thumb. So all in all, the last 24 hours, we've seen some interesting activity at the supervolcano caldera. Looking at the power outage situation over here at poweroutage.us, right now showing 46,000 customers without power down here in the Virgin Islands. The reason why is the large tropical storm that's developing that's going to stay away from the U.S. mainland. It's going to remain out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, quite possibly becoming a Category 3. I would be surprised if it did. When I turn on the dry air feature that's surrounding this system, you can see it's got 180 degrees of dry air, and there's also a little bit of wind shear, but not too much at the present time. So it could become a Category 3. But either way, it's forecasted to remain what they call a fish storm and stay out in the Atlantic Ocean, but not before taking over 46,000 customers off the grid down in the Virgin Islands. Looking at the wildfire situation, has not improved any since the last time we looked at the map just over 24 hours ago. The western United States just loaded with wildfire activity, much like our friends north of the border up in Canada. They're seeing wildfire activity too. Coast to coast, wildfires stretching all across Canada. And looking at the largest wildfire down here in the United States in Northern California, the Park wildfire, about the same as it was yesterday, looking at 429,000 acres, 40% contained. So it looks like they're starting to get a handle on this very large wildfire in Northern California. Speaking of California, we're going to start off with video footage from the daytime sky. This first video was sent in by Rhonda Church of a mysterious object cruising through the daytime sky that wasn't an airplane, wasn't a helicopter, wasn't a balloon, not a kite, not sure what this thing was, but it wasn't making any noise. And it was interesting enough to get her attention to start recording this thing cruising through the daytime sky. But notice the reddish glow around that mysterious object spotted in the daytime sky. Not sure of the location of this observation. I'm waiting to hear back from Rhonda on where she saw that thing in the daytime sky. The next video has narration, and it's out of Napa, California.
Cartwheels?
Cartwheel. I can't even do that, can you?
Yeah, cartwheel.
I can't even do a cartwheel.
Really?
Tell me about me trying, and I absolutely looked ridiculous.
Bro, that is weird. Whatever that is.
Wow, that's crazy.
What is it?
I don't know.
It needs to focus. It's having a hard time focusing on it. Come on.
Maybe because it keeps moving? I wonder.
It's got like a
Is there a
bubble
way?
around it. Huh?
I was like, I wonder if there's... Yeah, it looks interesting. Yeah.
Like I can get really close to it. That's freaking weird.
And this video was sent in by Teresa out of Napa, California, taken in broad daylight, not a cloud in the sky, some sort of what looks like a white disc in the sky at a fairly decent altitude. I don't know, it's difficult to say, maybe 30, 40,000 feet, possibly higher. but it almost looks like some sort of a round disc. I suppose it could always be a balloon, but if it was a balloon, it was pretty good size. Great observation. Now going to the nighttime sky, here we go. A huge triangle in the nighttime sky spotted by Brock Foster. He noticed these blinking lights over here in the sky that weren't making any noise. They were stationary, and they were in an unusual sequence, almost as if they were stationary on a larger object that he couldn't see, as the lights weren't moving, as if they were part of something larger. And I completely agree. I think there is a large black triangle over there. I've seen them myself. Not quite this big, though. This was absolutely huge. And here's an outline of what he saw in the sky right over there, forming a triangle right there in the nighttime sky. Once again, this was not making any noise. The lights remained stationary, and there were some smaller ones blinking around what looks like the primary shape of what could have been a massive triangle just sitting in the nighttime sky. The one that I saw, I actually saw two. They weren't quite this big. This thing here seems to be exceptionally large. And video number 3 involves a dark object in the daytime sky. Video sent in by Van from August 9th of 2024. He took this video at 6:31 p.m.
What that is right there?
Here we go. He says, I don't know what that is right there. And he's saying y'all see that because he was standing here watching this thing in the daytime sky, and it remained primarily in the same location. I pause it right here, and you can see this thing had an unusual shape. It was definitely black, whatever it was. Didn't have any lights on it, wasn't making any sound. And for the most part, it wasn't moving. It stayed right here off the edge of this building as if it was hovering in the same location for an extended period of time. The video that Van shared with me was about a minute and a half long, and right here I paused it to reveal its unusual shape. Get a load of that thing. Almost looks like an S or a Z in the daytime sky. I don't think it was a balloon, because if it was, it would have drifted off by now. It wouldn't stay right there in the same location, and he was very taken back by it. I don't think he would have stood there this long if this was some sort of a balloon or a gimmick. Once again, spotted on August 9th of 2024 at 6:31 p.m. And I'm also waiting to hear back from Van on the location that he spotted this mysterious object in the daytime sky. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. And I'd also like to thank everyone that's contributed to the Amazon wish list. I'm trying to update my studio. Most of my stuff's well over 10 years old. And someone suggested, actually 2 people suggested, putting together a Amazon wish list. So that's what I did. And I placed it over here on the homepage of the website. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.